Whatever the case may be, after the dramatic ending of last episode, the viewers were left in the deep jungle with Boone and Locke. Before we begin this episode, which is a Kate-centric episode, we need to go back to that moment where Locke and Boone found the hatch. Kate told Shannon that they probably made camp for the night, the rest is off screen. Okay, so they find the hatch, make camp, and probably dig a little bit more, until they take the same trek back to camp. The reason why I say the same trek is because the red markings that Boone made are not there when Michael runs past the same area in season 2. That is, if we assume that the location is meant to be the same. And Locke was very eager to keep the hatch a secret, so a trail of red markings would not be a wise decision. Boone suggested to Locke that he was going to go back using the red shirt markings. So they do that and pass the Manoa Valley again. They're quite unlucky, because this is the second time they pass the medical station. This is something the show plays a lot with. Boone and Locke won't even notice the door, the Swan Station, that is nestled down the slope. But as of now, they walk past the staff. Claire is down there with Ethan. He came back after he, and possibly someone else like Pickett, hanged Charlie. The events in this station will be explored again in season 2. Locke and Boone will later find a new way to get to this area, which will be quicker, as like many treks and journeys seen later in the show. 4 days pass from the events in the previous episode and to the events in this episode. Kate is picking some fruit. Sawyer is following her. She has gone quite inland because a lot of the trees around here has already been picked clean. Some of you sharp viewers, not that I have a lot of viewers, might have noticed that I've adjusted the location a little bit, from up here to here. That is because of the waterfall's relation to the bamboo forest, which we'll see in season 5. I'll try not to do any major adjustments to the map, but this one was so small that it wouldn't impact the previous videos I've done. Now back to the episode. They find the waterfall. It is filmed at Waimea Falls. This waterfall is a 1-mile stroll through lush botanical gardens before it leads up to this popular swimming attraction. They swim and find some bodies there. They also acquire the Halliburton case. Sawyer takes it. Back at the beach, we see that the tide is coming up.
At the rate this beach is eroding, the fuselage is going to be underwater in a matter of days. We need to get all this stuff off the beach before nightfall.
Jack wants Saeed to take him to Danielle to find out more about the others. He declines, saying that her mind is gone. Boone goes to the beach and gets the axe.
You got it. Yeah.
He returns it to Locke and they continue their work on the hatch. Later that night, Kate takes the case from Sawyer while he sleeps, but he wakes up and keeps it from her. The next morning, the residents from the caves have now joined forces with the beach dwellers in helping get their stuff up from the beach. That includes Michael, Walt, and Hurley, presumably others too. Saeed approaches Shannon. He asks for her help in translating Danielle's papers. She does so, but ultimately gives up.
Haven't you heard? I'm completely useless.
Sawyer tries to pick the lock on the Halliburton case. Rose gets Charlie to stop moping and starts helping move the camp. Sawyer goes into the jungle and climbs high up to throw the case against a rock. Kate steals it. He chases her through the forest and into an open field with some palm trees and takes it back. Kate goes to Jack about it. Kate and Jack gets the case's key from the buried Edward Marsh. Jack comes to Sawyer, who's now taking down the tent. He gives Jack the case. Jack and Kate go to the caves and open it together. Now the survivors are moving up the beach. In real life, they did the exact same thing. The tides were rushing up on Makulea Beach, and if you've ever been there, you'll see how tiny that beach really is. It's amazing that they got the fuselage there. The film crew poured sand over the highway and covered it up with some plants to give the illusion that it was wider. But when winter comes to Hawaii, the waves keeps coming up. The film crew moved to Papaiuloa Beach, which is known as Police Beach, which is further up on the north shore of Oahu. The tides are moving up this entire area, so the group walk for a long time, possibly several stretches at the time, the next day too. The reason why I've placed the location here is due to the long wall of mountains. This is the crater, and in real life, this is the mountain chain we saw back on Makulea Beach. I can't justify them moving just up the beach and come to an entirely different location that doesn't match up with the geography, especially such an important location as the beach camp. So they walked all the way here, finally a place that wasn't eroding like this place and had enough room to make a big campsite. I also think that they considered the distance to the caves. It is the same now as it was in the original campsite. That is why I didn't place the caves near the crater, which I know that some mappers have done. I doubt that the characters would go further away from their primary source of clean water. Now they'll be much closer to the caves and the hatch. The episode ends with a musical montage. Boone sees that Shannon sits next to Saeed and he doesn't approve. We'll see more of that in the next episode, and please subscribe for more island exploration.